Hello, welcome to White Threads FlossTube number 47. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate that you have. I'd like to wish you a very happy World Embroidery Day. It is no longer World Embroidery Day here in Australia, but it is still in other parts of the world, so hopefully I'm not too late to get in to wish you a happy World Embroidery Day. I spent the day taking some photographs of a couple of the pieces for my new book, and I also did some embroidery on one of them as well to try and finish it off. The book is getting closer. I've been saying for probably about the last 3 weeks, I think it's got about another month before I can send it off to the printers. And I'm still saying that. So it'll get there when it gets there. It'll be worth waiting for. I assure you, I am really enjoying it. It's got beautiful style work. Like, it's just gorgeous. It's just gorgeous. It's just gorgeous. And I feel really privileged to be able to present this beautiful embroidery to the world. So I hope that you really enjoy it too. Today I'm going to talk to you about a Mountmellick embroidery project that I have available as a kit. I have a number of cushions available as kits, and this is one of them. This is the Mountmellick Wildflower Cushion Kit, and it comes with the fabric that you need for the front and the back of the cushion. It's got the knitting cotton to do the knitted fringe. It's got the embroidery cotton to do the embroidery with, and it comes with the needles that you need to use to do the embroidery. I don't include knitting needles because most people already have a good selection of knitting needles, and if you don't, I'm sure you'll be able to borrow some if you don't want to purchase some for it. The kit also comes with full step-by-step instructions for each of the stitches, so you don't need to have a copy of any of my books to be able to make the project. All of the instructions are included so that you can make it. There are also instructions for doing the knitted fringe as well. When you do the knitted fringe, there are 2 balls of knitting cotton included in the kit, and you need 4 strands. So what you need to do is get your ball of knitting cotton, squash it, take out the central cardboard core of each one, and get the inside end and the outside end of each ball and put them together, and that will give you your 4 threads to knit with. When you're knitting, you knit a very long length to go around the whole thing. So it's a short width, but a very long length. And you knit the whole thing, and then you create the fringe. And if you haven't yet seen how to do the fringe part, I do have a video that's a slightly different fringe method than the one that's used on this cushion, but the video shows you how to create the fringe part, and it's mostly the sort of thing that people go, is that how it works? I love seeing that reaction when I show people how to do it. It's fun. So on the cushion, there are dog rose. There's a dog rose. There's a daisy. There's honeysuckles here, and there's wheat. So it uses lots of stitches to make these up with. And there are a lot of the typical stitches that you will find on Mountmellick embroidery. So there's lots of feather stitch. And here as well, there's lots of buttonhole stitch around, and there's a scalloped edge right around the edge. There's also whipped buttonhole here for the honeysuckle. We've also got cable plait stitch down the bottom here, which is a very typical stitch for Mountmellick embroidery. We've got some lovely plump bullions, which make excellent wheat. There is padded satin stitch, which you're always pretty much going to find on Mountmellick embroidery. There are French knots. There's a running stitch filling here, which creates a beautiful pattern and movement. What else have we got? We've got Palestrina Stitch, which is one of my favourite stitches. I really love Palestrina Stitch. And there's chain stitch. There's couching. What else is there? Oh, that's about it, I think. Yeah, so there's a good range of stitches there, and if you've not tried Mountmellick before, this is a great way to do it because it's got all the things in there that you need to make the cushion. To get the pattern onto your fabric, I trace it on, and so I lay my my pattern down on my light box, then I put the fabric on top of it, and then I use a fabric pencil to trace with. Now the thing about this is, unlike those fabric marker pens, now I have actually talked about this in a video before, so I'll put a link to that so you can go and find it. But unlike those marker pens which bleed into the fabric, this just sits on the surface of the fabric and it doesn't interact with your fabric threads, and it washes out once you've finished. So unlike a normal HB pencil or a 2B or something like that, this one washes out, and it washes out nice and easily. So it's the perfect way to do it. And because it's only on the surface of the fabric, not sinking into the fabric and washes off, it's not going to interact with your fabric over time because it will be gone. So there are a number of other cushions on my website as well that you can choose from, and they're all made of similar sorts of sizes, so you can work them as a set to put on your lounge or your bed or something like that. They're also a really nice project to make for someone. They'd have to be a pretty special someone though, I reckon, to be able to give that much work away. One of the things that I particularly like about Mountmellick embroidery is all of the stitches. Because we don't have colour, we use lots of padded and knotted stitches to create texture and pattern. And that's one of the really fun things that I enjoy about teaching Mountmellick embroidery, is exploring all the stitch play that we can have. And I think it's one of the things that students like about the classes too, and about the projects, because there's so much variety that you can get out of stitches. There are so many different variations of buttonhole stitch. There are so many different variations of feather stitch, which basically are variations of each other anyway, because buttonhole and feather stitch are very closely related. And yeah, there's just so much fun to be had with all the different stitches that you can play with. I think that's all I have to say about Mountmellick today. So thank you so much for joining me. If you have not yet subscribed, I would love it if you did. The more people who subscribe to my channel and like my videos and comment on my videos, the more YouTube understands that these are popular and people are enjoying them, and so they'll show them to more people, which means more people can benefit from them, which I'd really like. So if you can subscribe, comment, like the videos, that would be fantastic. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I will see you next time.